It's about 7:30. I'm drinking my coffee. The trail is right over there. I've already seen that group of 4 that I met from Charleston, South Carolina. So they're going to be a little ahead of me today. Some campers. This is for you, Betsy. Hiker man. It's like the perfect little spot to stop and take a 10 a.m. break. Have a snack. Take off these tights. Under layers. It's starting to warm up. So I'm gonna enjoy this little spot for a few minutes. Spreading stuff out here to dry. Next to the river in the sun. And getting ready to eat some breakfast. Cold soaked oats with some chia seeds and trail mix. Breakfast of champions. One of my goals on this trip is to test out some of my gear and try and eliminate some gear. You know, we pack our fears. I ended up bringing a Thermarest inflatable pad because I knew it was going to be down in the 30s the first couple of days. Last night I just used the 1/8 inch pad. It's a 1/8 inch torso length Gossamer Gear sleeping pad. The other is a piece of Reflectix that I put underneath, and underneath, you know, I put it directly on the ground and put leaves over it, and then put my ground sheet on top of that, and then I had the 1/8 inch pad on top of that. So I didn't need the Thermarest. That setup did just fine last night. Tonight I'm going to try and go with just the 1/8 inch pad and see if I can get rid of the Reflectix too. So I ended up bringing that extra pound of Thermarest pad for nothing, because later on in the week it's going to be warmer. So a little bit more on the sleeping pad. I actually find the Thermarest very uncomfortable. The crinkling, it's a NeoAir X Lite, the large. So it's 25 inches wide, 77 inches long. It's got an R value of 4.2, which is awesome. But I can't get over the crinkly sound. I have a lot of trouble sleeping on that thing. I've tried it at home a bunch. And really the main reason I got it was for the R value. When I got it, it happened to be snowing. And I'm not sure if I'll encounter any snow on the AT leaving April 1st. It's very possible in the Smokies. We'll see. But like I said, I find the thing very uncomfortable. It's heavy and unnecessary for most hikes. So my plan is to At this point, I may start out with it and then ditch it after I get to the Smokies, or pick it up right before I go into the Smokies and then ditch it after. One more thing that I identified that I need to get rid of is the clothes bag. It doesn't make much sense to have that. I was using it for a pillow, but I've discovered I'm actually more comfortable without a pillow. I generally sleep on my back and on my side a little bit. And when I'm on my back, I find that the pillow makes my neck hurt. And when I'm on my side, I can just use my arm up underneath my head, and that seems to work just fine. Some things I'm really happy with. The Dyneema ground sheet. Basically what I did was I ordered a big sheet of Dyneema from Ripstop by the Roll, and then my sister-in-law Amy sewed a seam all the way around it, and I think it's the 1.0 Dyneema, so it's still lightweight. The whole thing is it weighs like 3 ounces. That, my tarp does really well. I've been happy with that for a long time. And this backpack. This is a Hyperlight Mountain Gear 40-liter backpack. I've been worried about it being a little bit small for my first through hike, but I think it's going to be just right because it makes me leave some stuff at home and you know, really think about what I'm putting in it. So far it's comfortable, durable, as far as I can tell. It's lightweight. I couldn't be happier with it. More about gear, or even lack thereof, is my choice to hike barefoot. And I've been experimenting with this for 4 or 5 years now, and started out with running, and I slowly started experimenting with hiking barefoot, and the first couple times I did it, I was totally hooked. Just love it. And you know, when it gets down around freezing, that's not very fun. But as long as you keep your feet moving, they can stay warm. But I don't have to deal with blisters. I have been basically living barefoot for about 2 years now. I go to work every day. I don't even own a pair of shoes, actually. I have like 17 pairs of sandals, but no shoes. And the only time, these days, the only time I ever wear sandals is for other people. So I find this mode to be super comfortable, enjoyable, especially in an environment like this where it's just littered with you know, leaves, and it's not very rocky. Let's see here, Foothills Trail, Kings Creek Falls, up that way, so I guess we keep going this way. So I said that I only wear sandals for other people these days. That's true, but there's one other time when I wear sandals, and that's when frostbite is an issue, when frostbite is a possibility. At that point, I'll insulate my feet from the ground, and if I get cold above the sandal, which usually that doesn't happen until down in the 20s or so, then I'll slip socks on. I've got some merino wool socks, and in snow conditions, I've got a couple of pairs of merino wool socks, and then what I do is layer them, and in between I'll use an oven bag. I've used bread bags before, but I find oven bags to be a better option because they're a lot tougher. So merino wool sock, oven bag, merino wool sock on the outside to protect the oven bag, and that keeps your keeps my feet nice and toasty. I've got to watch moisture because my feet sweat a lot since they're used to being free. So moisture can be an issue. And we're at the Burles Ford Foothills Trail access. All right, 59 miles to go, 59.8. So hiking barefoot has actually simplified a lot of things for me. I don't have to worry about getting my feet wet, crossing creeks. It's actually enjoyable to cross creeks now. I don't have to worry about blisters. I don't have to worry about the expense of shoes, the extra weight, drying them out, wearing them out, which ones to get. This is definitely the way for me. So it looks like we finally part ways with the Chattooga Trail. Got up on a ridge and finally got some cell phone signal. That was nice. Got to call and talk with my wife. Haven't talked to her since yesterday. I'm headed towards Sloan Bridge. I've got about 5 more miles to go. Whiteside Mountain View. Oh, cool. Came to another road crossing. It's hard to believe we're only 3.9 miles from the ford. Sloan Bridge, 3.3 miles. That's my goal. I want to at least get there today, and then we'll see how it goes. Oh, wow. East Fork campsite down there. I'm gonna go check it out. It's almost to my goal today. So let's see what it looks like. Ended up walking on. Just don't want to be right on the river. I'm looking for a particular kind of ground to sleep on tonight, if I can find it. All right, we're 23.6 in. Looks like they've been doing some controlled burning up here, top of the ridge. All I'm looking for at this point is water supply so I can fill up my bottles, and then I want to find a place to lay down. I'd be happy up here somewhere. Let's see what we find. This was definitely a forest fire. I'm trying to get over to Grassy Knob. I'm hoping that it's not been burned up too. I'd like to find a place to lay down soon. It's getting to, it's 6 o'clock in the evening. So I've tanked up with water. I'm just looking for a good spot to set up camp.